Hello, I'm Hansi Parchment. You're watching Talawa TV with Crystal Davis.
I think the uniqueness of the Reggae Girlz is they embody the national motto of Jamaica, which is out of many one people. So when you look at the entirety of the Jamaica squad, you have dark-skinned girls, mixed-race girls, girls who have black and Asian in them. You also have the homegrown players, so like your Bunny Shaw, your Konya Plummer, your Den Blackwood. So what that means in terms of from a grassroots perspective is girls who are born in Jamaica can look at a Bunny Shaw and hear that authentic accent and say, you know, if Bunny can make it, then so can I. Once you hear that authenticity, that raw Jamaican accent, they should be able to look at a Bunny Shaw who's now our captain to say, if Bunny can do it, especially if you come from the same community, the same parish as her, if she can do it, then so can we.
It's great to be here. I know that you're probably the biggest supporters of the Reggae Girlz. So what you do and the message that you spread for the girls, it's really appreciated.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Crystal, I gotta give it to her. I've heard a lot of guys say she's the reason why they start off to watch female football. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm pushing her out there to keep on doing your thing. Don't get discouraged. You have a band of brothers behind you. And what we try to do is to get female who think like you know, in the game. Right, Siobhan?
Yeah,
so enough respect to you, Crystal, and keep fighting.
Yeah, because as you mentioned, a lot of persons, because I think the Reggae Girlz has been the most successful team in our football, and I think a lot of that was underrated. So what you've done for the local aspect of Jamaicans, you brought that sense of admiration to the persons know that, hey, it's not just the boys, the females as well. The females have the love as well, and honestly, if it wasn't for someone like you, Crystal, the YouTube space would just be crowded with the Reggae Boyz, Reggae Boyz, Reggae Boyz.
Yeah. So we do, you know, we have lots of respect.
You know, so I could touch base with her again at some point and see if she's up for an interview. But she did say yes before. It's just that I recognize that at the time there must have been a lot that she was going through, hence not pushing and asking for the interview. But I think it can be done.
Sorry to interject here, but you know, I must take this moment out to say thank you. You are such a being. You don't only look out selfishly for yourself. And as a broadcasting journalist as I am, and for the 40 odd years that I'm in the business, we when we're going after that story, we tend not to give hoots about what pains or atrocities it may cause when hunting that story. And so it takes a man and a woman who shares the pain of others to really look into it and say, no, you know what, by me pushing I can cause or create certain pain, and I wouldn't want that, so let me ease back a bit. It takes it because you see, we can get lost in the realm of collecting and dispensing information. You know, we can get caught up in that, you know, just to make a headline, just to get the notes out there. And I applaud you for using this kind of foresight to look deep in it and say, you know what, she may be in a spot. You're not saying she was in a spot. She may be in a spot. So let me take a step back and allow time to process this thing. So I raise my hat to you, you know, for that. You're a stalwart, and I entrust and I hope and pray that you'll continue in this vein, because you are the creme de la creme, and no one can take your spot. Just remember that. No one can take your spot. Others will come and try to do, and others may label them as doing better than, but there's no one can take that first place from you. He's always first and will always be first.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
My followers, how are you all? Good afternoon, good evening, possibly good morning. All depends on where you are in the world. Welcome back to another live stream. So it's Friday, guys. Oh, where do we start? There's just so much to talk about on both sides. So I gave you guys a poll in the community section, and you guys voted for me to talk about not just the Reggae Girlz, but also the Reggae Boyz. So that's actually quite an interesting one, because you already know I usually only focus on the girls, but you guys are the ones who are helping, not just have, you guys are the ones who are helping me to grow the platform. So I pretty much have to cater to whatever it is that you guys desire, right? But before I continue with the show, I do have a quick request. Let me go ahead and look at the back end stuff with my channel, and I need a quick little request from you guys, right? I am 2 subscribers away from 5K. You know just how long I've been chasing 5K. So if you are watching and you have not subscribed yet, I'm not sure why that is. Please do go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Try and see before, by the time I close off on tonight's live stream, I should have at least hit 5K. I think it's the least I deserve, 5K. So let's see if we can get that one done tonight. All right. So RR is in the building. RR says con. Might have to add some meat to that one there for me. Let me know exactly what you're referring to. Max City says, bless up yourself, Max City. I hope yourself and are in good health. Trying to see which way to start this one off. I think I should probably start off with the Reggae Boyz conversation and then segue into the Reggae Girlz. How does that sound? Let me know how that one sound. Before I get started though, brought another cup with me, guys. Who can guess this time round what's in my cup? And it's so funny. It's like I was sipping on it before I started the live stream. It is actually, it's going to help me to get through tonight's stream. Let's just put it that way. So on last week's, a couple of days ago, I had a particular tea. I'm not drinking the same tea, so don't tell me the same answer. Who can guess what's in my cup? Or what am I drinking on tonight's show? Let me know. And here's what. If you can guess what I'm sipping on, then I'll give you a pair of tickets to the upcoming Reggae Boyz match at home, on home soil at the National Stadium. How does that sound? Does that sound fair? I think that's pretty fair. I scratch your back, you scratch mine, vice versa. So if anyone in the comment section can guess what's inside my cup. I tried to match, but I don't think it worked out exactly. It's near enough. It's near enough. I should have probably brought the yellow cup with me, but I've gone with this shade instead, but I think it kind of matches what I'm wearing. What do you guys think? Let me know, what am I sipping on? Tell me what I'm sipping on, guys, in my cup. As I said, it probably does share some relation with or sentiment with you guys in the comment section, but I'll find out later on in the show. Mr. Lee, I hope you are in good health, Mr. Lee. I hope a bit like yourself when it comes to the women's team. I know just how much you love the Reggae Girlz. I hope you've managed to bring the emotions down a little bit. I don't know about Mr. Ballin. Last time I spoke with him, the emotions were still up there. Not checked in with him just yet. Also, another request. I need you guys to please send me the Reggae Boyz pre-match press conference, right? Send me the Reggae Boyz pre-match press conference, please. If you can, I'll really appreciate it. I would say drop it in the comment section, because if you send it to my phone, there's a chance that I'm not going to receive it, okay? I'm having some issues with my WhatsApp, which you guys already know. A couple of you already know that. So please, guys, send me the pre-match press conference of the Reggae Boyz team, because tomorrow we are taking on British Virgin Islands, and we're going to talk a little bit about that later on in the show. All right, so you guys are fairly quiet with me. You don't fancy your chances? No one wants a pair of tickets to the Guatemala game? You don't fancy a pair of tickets to the Guatemala game? That one is taking place on the 10th of June. And I can send you there to the National Stadium. All you have to tell me is what's inside my cup. And the legend himself is in the building. And while he is here, let me go ahead and say this before I completely forget. I do want to say a massive big up to Mr. Jackson and also Mr. Cranky as well for last night's show. I enjoyed it as someone, as a content creator, sometimes it is great to just sit back and take in other content, consume other content, rather than being the host or the guest panelist, whatever it is. So last night's show from both of these gents were right up there, top part, great quality show. And hats off to Mr. Jackson as well for encouraging his audience to go over to Cranky's show. And I think that's what we need, guys. It was great to have a show back to back rather than seeing people compete against each other. Now, I'm not saying that these two individuals have competed against each other. I'm just saying, if you're in the landscape a bit like myself as a content creator, you can kind of tell when someone is competing against another person's channel. Again, I'm not saying that these two did that yesterday or have done it in the past. What I'm saying is I like what I saw from both of the channels last night, from Elite Sports as well as Cranky Live, where they one finish and then minutes later we could jump over to the other person's channel. And that was great. You know, together we conquer, divided we fall. So you know how it goes, pressure, bust, pipe, and so on. Right, so pick up yourself there, Elite Sports TV. That's a channel that needs no introduction. I am pretty sure you're all familiar with Elite Sports TV. As I said, guys, please do try and send me the Reggae Boyz pre-match press conference for their game against the British Virgin Islands. Do send me that press conference there if you can. Again, guys, drop it in the comment section, right, so that I can access it. Devon Porter, good day to yourself, Devon Porter. Devon's gone with the I think you're probably just tuned in. I did say don't guess the same tea I had on my last live stream or 2 streams ago. No, 2 tickets are up for grabs, guys. If you can guess what's in my cup right here next to me, then I will definitely give you a pair of tickets to the Reggae Boyz upcoming World Cup qualifier at the National Stadium, right? I don't think you guys are going to guess it though, but I'll be amazed if you do. And if you do, then you will get those tickets. I'll pay for it for you straight out of my pockets. Right, so I am going to segue and dive right into some Reggae Boyz conversation. Let's see, transfer window is open temporarily. It's going to be, from what I understand, it seems as if for the first time ever, we have a transfer window opening 1st of June, I believe. And then it closed at, I think, is it like the 10th of June? Don't quote me on those 2 dates there. Point I'm trying to make is, and I think they've done it around the FIFA World Cup competition, FIFA Club World Cup competition, I should say. So it will be closing soon and then reopening, right, at some point. So that means that at some point we do need to keep our eyes and ears peeled on those potential transfers there where the Reggae Boyz are concerned, and also look to see where the Reggae Girlz are looking to make a move. So the last show we spoke about Leon Bailey and his move to, or pending move to, Saudi Arabia. No, that's not it at all. And it looks as if we might be having a Reggae Boy go in the opposite direction, right? So I'm going to take my eyes off the comment section, so I won't be able to see you guys in the comment section temporarily. And we're going to go ahead and look at what's on my screen in front of me. It should pop up on your screen any second now. Should be able to see what I'm looking at. Let me just check to see if you guys can see that. Yes, you can. Right. So as I've said, on 2 live streams ago, we discussed the potential of Leon Bailey exiting the Premier League and making his way to Saudi Arabia. And it is quoted for a £25 million move, a transfer there, which will see him move from Aston Villa to a club pronounced, I think it's pronounced Neom. Don't quote me on that one though, guys. Newcomers there in the Saudi Pro League. So that's one to keep an eye on. But as I said, as it's in relation to the gentleman on the screen in front of you, that is Mr. Damari Gray. There's some transfer speculations there surrounding Gray, and the headline does read for itself. If you don't want to read it, I'll go ahead and read it for you. It says there, exclusive. This one is taken from Give Me Sports, and it does say here, Damari Gray exploring Premier League return, Birmingham team. Now we know that he's a Brummie. He's a Brummie at heart. Irrespective of where he finds himself, relocation position-wise, club-wise, he's still Brummy at heart. So I'll go ahead and read all the relevant information there for you as it relates to our very own Demarai Gray. It says, Al Ettifaq winger Demarai Gray is exploring a move away from Saudi Arabia, and Gives Me Sports understands the 28-year-old wishes to return to the Premier League. Gray joined Ettifaq from Everton when Steven Gerrard was the manager and has gone on to make 54 appearances, scoring 4 goals. Also says here in bold, Gray set sights on leaving Saudi Pro League. It says here, Jamaica International poised to have options for a fresh challenge. And this one concludes. I won't read the article in its complete read, only because the bottom half is irrelevant to us. So these bits that's been highlighted, that's about other players with their potential move in the pipeline. So as it relates to Demarai, the rest of the article says Ettifaq have been impressed with Gray's attitude and sharpness in the back end of this season, but respect his desire to return to England. The Saudi club are looking for a fee in the region of £8 million. So straight away, that's great to hear. It doesn't seem, it's never ever struck me. I think we actually spoke about Demarai Gray when I was giving him his flowers several streams ago. I think it was towards the latter stage of last year, and I think his attitude is something that we definitely discussed, and we obviously said that, you know, it seems like he's someone who's good spirited, seems like he's well mannered and so on, and that's without knowing who he is. Never had the privilege or the honor of speaking to him, but we can only go with what's written in black and white. And it does says here to reiterate that his club have been impressed with his attitude, and also, I guess, as it is in relation to the Reggae Boyz and some international football, sharpness. We know that we've not been seeing the best of Demarai Gray lately, and you can put that down to injuries, you know, lack of match fitness, lack of sharpness, and so on. So it says here, newly promoted Sutherland hold a historical interest from January, but are yet to make a fresh approach to Ettifaq. Gray's former club, Birmingham City, are also keen and have made recent contact with his club, but it is unclear whether the Jamaican international is willing to return to St. Andrews, where he made 78 appearances between 2013 and 2016, or dropped down to the championship. Syria side Fiorentina have also made an approach to loan Gray. Let me know what you guys make of what's been said. Do you fancy Demarai Gray making a return to the Premier League? Who would you like to see him play for? Do you just want to see him back in England? 2 clubs there that are apparently keeping close tabs on Demarai Gray as it relates to England is his former club Birmingham City, also Sunderland, and elsewhere in Europe, as it also says in the article there, in Syria, Fiorentina. So let me know what you guys make of this transfer, exclusive potential transfer on the cards there. Exit in the Saudi Pro League potentially is Demarai Gray, and he might land himself right back in England. I know I don't speak for all of you, but surely would love to see him back in the Premier League. Fingers crossed, I should say. All the best to Demarai Gray, and hopefully he goes with what works best, both for himself and also his family as well. I'm sure he's always done that throughout his career, and this potential move will be no different, right? Johnny Powell, big up yourself. It's not minty. Big up yourself, DC. DC says, greetings, Crystal and Talawa TV subscribers. Greetings to yourself, DC. All right, guys, let me see if you guys are doing me dirty. I did say we are 1 subscribers away now from 5K. Please, let's see if you can get me over the line. I've been chasing 5K for Lord knows how long. Hopefully by the time we close off on tonight's live stream, we would have hit 5K. All right. So a pimp named Slipback says Bailey should go back to Germany. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't agree. I think he should secure the bag. I'm sorry, you probably don't want to hear that, but secure the bag. Go ahead, and go to the Saudi Pro League. His friend, his mate, his compatriot, his countryman, Demarai Gray looks as if he is set for a Premier League return. Do you guys fancy Demarai Gray coming back to the Premier League, or would you like to see him play in the Championship? Let me know in the comment section. And again, guys, if you can share the link there to the Reggae Boyz pre-match press conference, I would greatly appreciate it. If not, it might just have to spill over onto tomorrow's show, right? So what else is there to talk about? I guess since we're on the topic of the Reggae Boyz, as voted by yourselves, you guys said you want me to talk about the Reggae Boyz as well as the Reggae Girlz. I think it's only right to talk about the gaffer. The gaffer, Steve McClaren. What are you guys' thoughts on Steve McClaren's recent actions? Are you guys a fan of it? I guess I should point you guys in the right direction. But before I do so, should we go ahead and look at the Gold Cup squad, right? 2025 Gold Cup squad, right? Because I think this one has probably put a spanner in the work. I don't think it should be framed as that though, because I think by now we kind of get the gist. We kind of know what the head coach of the Reggae Boyz, and that's a senior football team that we're talking about. We kind of know what he's all about. We kind of can, to an extent, predict who will get a call up. Right, so you should be able to see that Gold Cup squad there on the screen in front of you. Let me go ahead and remove that banner because it's probably blocking a couple names. Don't worry though, nevertheless, I do have you covered. Covered. And also, before I forget, I might need you guys to potentially put me in the right direction, because maybe guys, maybe my memory doesn't serve me well. So I'm going to be relying on you guys as we discuss Steve McClaren. All right, so this is the squad there. And this one was taken from BAM Sports. So I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with BAM Sports. If you're not familiar with BAM Sport, then I don't really know what to tell you, especially if you are trying to learn about Jamaica football on the ground. Then that's a wonderful platform for you to not only keep an eye on, but to also digest his content. So again, BAM Sports TV, you can follow him over on Instagram, or you could also go ahead and follow him on YouTube. I'm not sure if he's across all social media, but you can, of course, search your TikTok, your Facebook. He's probably there as well, but most certainly Instagram as well as YouTube. So he's a trusted source. So I'm going to go with this graphic here taken from his Instagram account, right? And I guess we could go ahead and read this one out in traditional fashion. And by saying that, you already know I'm starting with the players between the sticks. That is the goalkeepers, and I'm going to make my way down to the forwards. All right, I can't see if you guys are saying anything in the comment section. If you are saying something, I'm not ignoring you. I just literally can't see it right now, but I will be with you in a matter of minutes. All right, so just sit back, relax, and be patient with me. So the goalkeepers for the Gold Cup 2025, the selection consists of our captain, our skipper, Andre Blake, Jamali Waite, and Shaquan Davis. In defense, we have a selection of Dexter Lambakisa, Joel Latibade, Greg Lee, Amari Bell, Richard King, Ethan Pinnock, Mason Holgate, our vice captain Damian Lowe, and Kyle Ming complete the selection. In midfield, we have Isaac Hayden, Casey Palmer, John Russell, Dwayne Atkinson, and Bobby Reed. And for the forwards, we have Ronaldo Cephas, Damari Gray, Kaheem Dixon, Leon Bailey, Warner Brown, Ramon Burrell, Tyrese Campbell, Romario Williams, and also Mikel Antonio. So what do you guys make of the Gold Cup selection there? What do you guys make of the Gold Cup selection? And I'll go ahead and bring up my question. And I do want you guys to answer this one for me. Is McLaren a contradictor? Is he contradicting himself? Let me know in the comments section. I'm going to share my opinion with you guys. And this is just my opinion. Of course, it's not nothing personal. It's not an attack on his character at all. It's just my observation, right? And I'm looking at what you guys are saying in the comment section. Also, big up to Mr. Porter. No one wants the tickets. If you're just tuning in, I'm saying, tell me what's in my cup and I will give you a pair of tickets to watch the Reggae Boyz next match on home soil. It's easy. It's light work. All right. Let me see what you guys are saying there in the comment section. Tycoon, he says, big up all in the chat. Press the like button. Please do press the like button. And CC Sports Lab, please do familiarize yourselves to CC Sports Lab. I'm keeping an eye on him. We discussed something several weeks back, and I don't think he has delivered. I'm not sure why. I'm not going to say what it is, because it is for his product, his platform, not mine. But I hope you're in good health, Tycoon. Mr. Porter, a pimp named Slick Back. I hope you're in good health. And also, CC, likewise, same goes to yourself as well. Please do subscribe to CC Sports Lab if you haven't done so already. One more subscriber away from 5K. Why are you guys making me beg? Why am I so far? Yes, so close, yet I feel so far. All right. So CC says, how Michael Antonio made the squad versus Shamar? Sir, I think that's a question for the gaffer, right? I do think that's a question there for the gaffer. And if at any point, any of you guys in the comment section fancy jumping on the screen, you're more than welcome to. All that I ask is just you respect my golden rule. Please do keep it respectful, right? So that's an excellent question. And I'm going to go back to that one in a moment. Max City says midfield Marga and Ravel not making the selection will prove to be a great error by Coach Mac. CC, because Antonio as pencil influence. What do you mean by that? Pencil influence? I don't think I've heard that one before. Explain that one to me, please. CC says, I'm working on it. It will be up and running throughout this festival of football. I'm going to hold you to that, CC. We'll see. It says Tetley T. No, leave Antonio alone, CC. Remember, Andre Blake was picked in the squad before under Grimmy, and he was injured. All right, I don't think there's any right or wrong answers here between Tycoon and CC, if I'm being fair. So I'm going to see if I can add to what CC Sports has said. Now, obviously, this is a welcome return for Michael Antonio. It's a welcome return. I'm sure I speak for everyone, although I'm not trying to speak for everyone. I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say that is, what he went through and the fact that he managed to survive what he went through. I'm not going to bring up any graphics because it is quite traumatic to some people. I think it's safe to say that it's a miracle, and we're all delighted to see that he's made a recovery, and it probably seems like a speedy recovery, a quick recovery. So we're all delighted to see that, God has him covered and he's here. He's first and foremost alive and well. Me particularly, I wasn't fussed pertaining to whether we would see him play for us this year or if it would be a matter of waiting until we see him, worst case scenario, play for us in the latter stages of this calendar year or possibly next year, 2026. Because for me, your health comes first, and the main thing that I was focused on is, is he alive? Is he well? As long as those two boxes were ticked, I didn't really care about nothing else, to be honest with you, just as long as he's alive and well. But the thing with McLaren is, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that's thinking this, is unless I am mistaken, and I do need you guys to correct me if I am mistaken, I'm almost certain that I've heard the gaffer on a number of occasions kind of tell us what warrants a player to a call up, right? And of course, at one point he was calling up a particular player that didn't have a club. And I know I've done live streams on that where I've kind of questioned, why would you do something like that? Because you're kind of sending a message, like you're kind of sending a message that probably isn't going to go down well with his teammates, right? Because it can't be one rule for one and another rule for another. It doesn't really make sense. When you do things like that, you can kind of upset the dressing room. You can unintentionally create tension and so on. And people can also question whether you have favorites in the team. It's no secret every manager, every head coach will have their favorites, but it shouldn't be so blatantly obvious. And I'm not saying Mikel is his favorites, right? What I am saying is moving on from when he called up a particular player when that player did not have a club, and we could potentially question whether the player was match fit, irrespective of the fact that he would have been fit. Being fit and being match fit is two completely different things, right? And then he kind of moved, he kind of said a number of things. So then he said, if I'm not mistaken, paraphrasing something along to the effects of players have to be with a club and they also have to be accumulating minutes to be considered, to be selected, right? So then we're just like, okay, fair play, that's better than what we've seen you do. But then it seems as if he's gone back on himself on a number of times, because what you said warrants a call up doesn't reflect your actions, unless he's not the one that's calling up the players, unless he's not in charge of calling up the players and giving the players their respective caps. I don't know, maybe some of you in the comment section can guide me on that. Saying that to say, I can understand why CC would make this comment. Again, the comment does say how Mikel make the squad over Shamar. I think there's also, you can argue why Shamar didn't make the squad, if we're being completely honest. You know, favoritism aside, bias aside, there is arguments there pertaining to why Shamar didn't make the squad. My thing in all of this is, how are you going back on yourself? I thought we were over this selecting players who are currently not playing or currently don't have a club. It does make me wonder, like, why you would do something like that. And of course, it's nothing against the player in conversation. Like, I think I speak for you guys in the comment section as well as myself. Again, it's a happy return for Mikel, but it doesn't really make sense. Even if Mikel comes back and he's all gun blazing and he's firing on all cylinders, it still doesn't make sense, because you're contradicting yourself. You're contradicting yourself big time. And you got to put yourself in these players' position, and you got to ask yourself, what's going on here? How comes he's getting a call up? I've worked my ass off throughout the entire season. I've grinded and I am not being called up, but my teammate who hasn't played football since, I believe, since potentially the back end of last year, so around about December time, if I'm not mistaken, he's being selected over myself. And again, it's not a pick at the player. The player doesn't select themselves. Players don't call up themselves to the national side. So it's not about the player. It's more so about the selection process, and also the gaffer as well. The gaffer, Steve McClaren. I'm looking at it and I'm wondering, why have you done that? Are you trying to potentially help the player to regain his match fitness? We know there was some contract talks there where West Ham United were concerned as his contract was winding down. Are you trying to put him in the shop window for a potential transfer, this summer transfer, or maybe worst case scenario, a winter transfer when the winter transfer window opens up in January? It's a little bit unclear. Again, you're allowing your fans to speculate, and it's a little bit of a shame for the player, because like I said, you know, the player don't select themselves. But when you do stuff like that, it does make you wonder. You know, people in new media, I can't say traditional media, but YouTubers have had to advocate for John Russell, because we're looking and we're saying, okay, you said he needed to do something to be selected. He did exactly that, and he still weren't being selected. People had to put their foots on the necks of the coach before he could go back in his word and say, okay, I'm now calling up John Russell. I know some of you with Ravel, it's a little bit of a different scenario. Ravel, I think, is a bit like Marmite. Some of you like him, some of you don't. But Ravel is a perfect example as well, where he was being overlooked for whatever the reason was, irrespective of the league. Remember, you said, you know, the gaffer said, if they have a league, they can get a call up. If they get in minutes, if they're accumulating minutes, they can get a call up, unless my ears are fooling me. So there goes the argument there for Ravel, irrespective of the league. But even when he was ticking those boxes, again, the league is irrelevant in my opinion. Even when he was ticking those boxes there, he still was being overlooked until new media, so the likes of your Elite Sports, you know, Elite Sports TV, Mr. Ryan Jackson, putting his foot on the neck of Steve McClaren and whoever is in charge of the player call-ups. And then we all saw how that one materialized, where he made a return in the Unity Cup. And now it seems like he's still making somewhat of a steady return. For some people who are massive fan of Ravel, I think I speak for all of you when I say long may it continue. So where CC Sports comment is concerned, I think I definitely can understand why he would ask that question. But like I said, the flip side of that is that there is arguments there why Shamar didn't make the cut this time round. And it's so funny because when we saw the performance, excluding the Unity Cup, before the Unity Cup, when we saw the performance of Warner Brown, some of the stuff that we were saying, most certainly myself anyways, is that now this will give Shamar Nicholson something to ponder over. Now you now it will put him in a position where he's looking and he's thinking, you know what, I've got work to do. I'm not saying that he would have taken his position for granted in the team. I don't think that he would have done that. But now it's a case of go hard or go home. And it's not just for Shamar Nicholson, it's for every one of those players. I think the only player that can potentially not have that in their mindset, although I don't think he will, because I do think he's a natural born leader, he's a hard worker, there's a reason why he's done in the captain's armband, is Andre Blake. Do we all agree that that position there is pretty much nailed down? Or do we look and say, you know what, even Andre Blake, if he doesn't come up clutch at all times, if he isn't on his P's and Q's, he could potentially have to sit on the bench. I don't know what you guys make of what I've just said. I've been chatting with you guys for over 35 minutes. Have you guys given me the one subscriber that I've been asking for? Come on, one subscriber away from 5K. You guys are a tough audience, I can tell you that. So I think I've pretty much touched on that one. I did ask Max City to add some meat to the bone of this particular comment, right? And let me go through the rest of your comments. And Tycoon, I think maybe I've helped you to understand CC's comment. Of course, I can't speak for CC, but I think it's a fair comment to ask, given what we have heard from the gaffer Steve McClaren in the past, right? So is he contradicting himself? Is he a great contradictor? Let me know in the comment section, right? And this is the thing, it's what I like about this particular comment here is the last couple of words in the comments. So, you know, let me just read this one out. It says, leave Antonio alone, CC. Remember Andre Blake was picked in a squad before under Grimmy, and he was injured, and it shouldn't be like that, irrespective whether it's the captain, whether it's the vice captain. It should not be like that. You've set a standard and you have to live by that standard. And again, this is something that I criticize the previous gaffer, Hal Grimson. I criticized him for doing something like that. It's not nothing personal on Andre Blake or any other player, but once you do something like that, you have to do it for the rest of the squad. If not, it's blatant favoritism. And some people can say there's some politics involved as well. And if people are thinking like that, you can't blame them, because you're giving them reasons to question why you would do such a thing, right? For me, what warrants a player to receive a call up? You have to be playing for a club. I couldn't care less who you are, be it the Reggae Girlz or the Reggae Boyz. I don't care who you are. I don't care how important you are to the club, to the team, I should say, the national team. You have to be playing for a club. You have to be accumulating minutes. And I'm not talking about 1 minute, 2 minute here. You have to come to an agreement where the Jamaica Football Federation is concerned, where you have to accumulate a certain number of minutes, right, before you can be called up to the national team. Is that to say that I don't want Mikel Antonio in the team? Absolutely not. I wish him the very best of luck. Like I said, he could come and be firing on all cylinders. My opinion would still remain the same, in that I am questioning Steve McClaren. And to me, he looks like a great contradictor. Let me know what you guys make of what I've said in the comment section. Warren Webster, it's all kicking off in North London with your club, isn't it? Oh my God. Yay! Thank you guys. So we are now at 5,002 subscribers. Thank you, Jesus. I've worked my ass off to go to 5K subscribers. Thank you guys. When I close up, I might have a drink to celebrate. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. You've just set the tone for my weekend. I'm happy. I'm a happy bunny. Tuffy, good day to yourself. Cece says, Tycoon, remember I'm working with the coach. He has said, Grimmy move on. I don't understand that, Cece. As for me, players playing regularly as at a recognized club and match fit performing and a regular in a starting role, unless you are at a big club. I think Warren is saying there what warrants a player for a call up. And it looks like Tycoon and CC are going at it. So I'll leave those two gents to hash that one out in the comment section. It says here, CC, Tuffy, we had to recall Raveler and Jonathan, but I scratched my head about, I think he's potentially alluding to Mikhail, I think, right? Chelsea Cobbin Blue, good to see you in my comment section. I think you're probably one of the guys who, or girls who literally just, guy or girl who basically just subscribed to my channel, I think, because I don't think I've seen you in the comment section before. Nevertheless, someone's trying to peg me back. There's some real enemy of progress. So I'm seeing that I hit 5K, surpassed 5K, and now it's going down. You are a real enemy of progress. Warren Webster says selection process. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Let me go back to your comment. I honestly think the coach knows the two striker he plans to use is Burrell and Brown. Maybe Antonio is the experience these two much strikers need in training. That's a wonderful way of looking at it, and I don't doubt that. I think that's a positive way of looking at it, and that's potentially exactly what Steve McClaren had in mind, but still, people are still going to question it because you have still said something and you've done something quite the opposite. So that's a wonderful way of looking at it. And this is why I love when you guys make use of the comment section. It makes my life easier, and it also gives me something to think about, because in all the thinking that I was doing in the lead up to this particular live stream, I didn't even think of this. So thank you for that. That's a wonderful comment. Bosa is off form and doesn't carry the same level of experience, top level. So that was my thought, is to keep him in a shop window. That way he can stay in the top league, which could help him and the team in the future. Yeah, I think that's potentially why he has done it. And yeah, it's probably come from a place of goodwill. I trust that it has come from a place of goodwill, but nevertheless, you have contradicted yourself. Yeah, and you have to be mindful of that, because the last thing you want is to create or sprinkle a little bit of toxicity where the players are concerned. Can you imagine missing out on a call up where you've worked your ass off and someone else gets a call up over you and they've not played no football? And obviously we know the nature, we know the reason why he hasn't played any football, but irrespective of, your coach has said one thing and he's gone and done something else. Georgia girl, big up yourself. Happy Friday. I hope you are in good health. Warren says, it was not only Ryan, all the diasporans and local YouTubers demand excellence. They do, but you know, I think Ryan does put his head on the line, the chopping board, plenty of times. But of course, there is a call there from the diaspora community across the globe demanding excellence across both programs, not just where the Reggae Boyz are concerned, but also where the Reggae Girlz are concerned. And before I close off on my stream, I'm going to segue and talk about the Reggae Girlz as well, right? My Earth Strong heading on the road, people. Hit the like button, please. We'll rewatch later. Big up. Is that a happy Earth Strong to yourself, Warren Webster? You know I'm a little bit slow at times. If it is happy Earth Strong, I do pray to God that you live to see many, many more years. I bite my tongue when I say this. I hope you get to see your club lift few more trophies. Hopefully the little trophies, you know, the little Mickey Mouse cups, like your League Cup. And maybe the big boy, the FA Cup as well. I love the FA Cup. Best of luck to yourself and your club for the upcoming season. Okay, Tuffy says congratulations. Thank you, Tuffy. But there's an enemy of progress among us. Who unsubscribed? Stop playing with me, people. Stop playing with me. Conroy, big up yourself. I hope you are in good health. Thank you, Georgia girl. 5K subs, guys. I am so happy. Tycoon says, I think all the players must be informed and healthy to get picked for the national team, and how much players in the squad deserve a call selection is shambolic. Like the technical... That is from Tycoon. Those are the words of Tycoon, not myself. Lee Davidson, good day to yourself. I hope you're in good health. Ravel not in the World Cup squad. Like I said, Ravel's a bit like Marmite for some love him, some don't. I just think you contradict yourself again when you say something and then don't and then do the opposite. Thank you to those of you who have hit the like button. Your support doesn't go unnoticed. Up one palace, your royal. I am well. How are you? How are you doing? How are you doing? So, guys, it seems that you all don't want a ticket. You don't want to pay a ticket to the Reggae Boyz upcoming match at the National Stadium. I did ask you guys, it's gone cold now. I said, what's in my cup? What am I drinking? I don't actually think you guys are going to. If you put two and two together as the show goes on, then you might guess it. And I might keep this one going. So I might spill this one over into the next live stream. Cranky, big up yourself, Cranky. I hope that you are in good health. I don't think you was here for the start of the show. So let me just echo my respect to yourself and Ryan for giving us onlookers two wonderful, two delightful shows back to back last night. Definitely enjoyed both of your content. So big up yourself. If you're not familiar with Cranky Sports, I should say Cranky Live, please do get familiar, subscribe to his content, and digest those live streams as they come. At least the former coach explained why he included injured players to the Copa last year. Hey, the idea of saying one thing and doing the other is bound to cause a heap of confusion. So log on to the Talawa TV, keep slow, flow fast. So I think we've discussed quite a bit there where the Reggae Boyz are concerned. So we started off the show by talking about Damari Gray. So let me just brush up on that one for you guys. It looks as if Damari Gray is set for, or we can potentially brace ourselves for a potential return back to England there where Damari Gray is concerned. Two clubs there apparently keeping their tabs on Damari Gray is Birmingham City and also Sunderland. And elsewhere in Europe, we have Syria Club, Fiorentina as well. So you can keep your eyes and ears peeled on that one. Let me know, do you fancy Damari Gray exiting the Saudi Pro League? Is already secured the bag. Why not? And of course, another transfer rumor there, vaguely touched on this one. Leon Bailey to Saudi. Let me know what you guys make of that one. And we just finished discussing, is McLaren a contradictor? Let me know in the comment section. I'm saying World Cup 2026 is a must. We've already touched on that squad there behind me, taken from BAM Sports. I'm sure you guys are familiar with BAM Sports, but tomorrow it is going down. Let me know if you guys are watching this one tomorrow. I might give you guys a live watch along. Let me know if you want a live watch along. Should I do a poll? Let me see if I should do a poll. I'm sure got a poll out there. Should I do a live? See if you guys can vote this one for me. Quite simple. Should I do a live watch along tomorrow? Yes or no? Get voting. And thank you to those of you who voted for tonight's live stream. I did ask you guys over on my community tab if I should only focus on the Reggae Girls or split it down the middle, do the Reggae Boyz and the Reggae Girls. And you guys said do both. I also asked if I should exclusively speak about the Reggae Boyz by themselves. You guys wanted both, so here you have both. Okay, so you can see this one there on the screen in front of you. Kicking off tomorrow. Exclude the time. I should say ignore the time. This is saying 8 p.m. So irrelevant if you're in the same location as myself. And we'll be taking on the British Virgin Islands. And after that, this is for the World Cup qualifiers, all right, to avoid any potential confusion. And then on Tuesday, the 10th, we'll be taking on Guatemala on home soil at the National Stadium. You can say their National Stadium, Independence Park, taking on Guatemala, and again, another World Cup qualifier. So how are you guys feeling about these upcoming qualifiers? Are you feeling good, feeling confident? Again, if you haven't shared your thoughts there on Steve McClaren's contradiction, I think he does contradict himself. Let me know at some point before I close off on the show, right? And I think that should be enough of the Reggae Boyz chatter. We've been speaking for almost 1 hour, 48 minutes to be exact. I reckon it's time for us to segue and talk about something else. I guess we can go ahead and look at the Reggae Girlz. How are you guys feeling? Think we should segue and talk about the Reggae Girlz. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Ryan has a show coming up later on. I was trying to see if I could time it so that when I finish my show, you guys can go straight into his show. But I don't think I'm going to get that quite accurate tonight, because I think he's going live in just under 2 hours time. I think maybe 7 p.m. Toronto time. So I should be done by then, right? So them oats, good afternoon to yourself, good day to yourself. You're saying, my apologies, you say 2 wins from those games, no losses, no excuses. RR says, after the first game, we will see how it goes. Jesus, you don't sound confident at all. You do not sound confident at all. So let me go ahead and segue into the Reggae Girlz. All right, let's go ahead and look at the Reggae Girlz game against the United States. So let me go ahead and bring that one up for you all. Bring this one up on screen. See, where's my tab? Okay, so let me go ahead and change my screen for you guys. You should be able to see this one on the screen in front of you. Can you see it? Yes, you can. So let's go ahead and talk about some Reggae Girlz for a brief period, and I'll be keen. I'm wanting to know what you guys make of the results against the United States, and of course, I'm going to be giving you guys my opinion, right? So before we get into the conversation itself, let's just go ahead and look at the game, as in the full-time results. Pretty much reads for itself. The results is right there on the screen in front of you. On Wednesday nights. Is it Wednesday night? It would have been Tuesday night for you guys, Wednesday morning for myself, and for those of you who are based in Europe. Unfortunately, we lost this one 4-0. Of course, it was a friendly, but as I said on previous live streams, when it comes to certain countries, I don't really see it as a friendly. Yes, it is a friendly, but it's not a competitive game. Point I'm trying to make is I don't like to lose against certain countries. And of course, the USA is one of them. And another country is Mexico, for obvious reasons. History does speak for itself, right? Let me just take my eyes away from the comment section for a brief period. So I'm not sure how accurate these stats are. You guys should be able to see the stats in front of you. I'm guessing because it's on the screen, I should probably just go through it. And then what we could do is pause temporarily, and I'll try and talk about some of those positives, even though some of you guys might not think it is a positive. Be interesting to see what you guys make of what I've said. And also, if you're thinking differently to myself, please do go ahead and let me know in the comment section, right? So stats wise, it says here on Tuesday night's occasion, 23 shots for the home side, USA, whereas Jamaica had 2 shots, 10 shots on target for USA, 0 for the Reggae Girlz. Possession-wise, according to Google here, USA had 83 possession, whereas Jamaica had 17. Passes accumulated, 740 for USA, 155 for the Reggae Girlz. Pass accuracy, USA apparently had a pass accuracy of 89%, whereas the Reggae Girlz had a pass accuracy of 53%. Fouls committed, USA committed 8 fouls, and we on that occasion committed 8 fouls. Yellow cards, 0 for the USA, 1 for Jamaica. Red cards, 0 apiece. Offside, 0 for the USA, 1 for Jamaica. And corners, I don't see, I'm reluctant to buy much into these stats because it says corners USA 12, Jamaica 0. I'm fairly certain that we had corners during those games, during that match, right, guys? Unless my eyes are fooling me, I'm sure I saw us take corners during that game. So this is what I'm saying. While I can rely on Google and their stats, I don't buy into it too much because I don't think that they are as accurate as it should be, right? So let me know what you guys make of that in the comment section. If you watched the game, did you not see any corners to the Reggae Girlz? I'm sure I did. unless I'm just like making stuff up in my head. I don't know. RR here says the girl's body languages seems dim. So that's his observation. That's not a fact. That's just his observation. And of course, we're all here to observe and discuss. So I'll try and see if I can start off with the positives. And let's see if I can bring something up on the screen rather than trying to think of it off the top of my head. Let's see if I can go ahead and bring something up on my screen. Trying to see if I can find something. Don't have a clue where it is, so I'm probably not going to be able to do it, to be honest with you. Where is this? I'm searching for something for you guys, and it looks like it can't be found. Let's see. Why can't it be found? And more importantly, what exactly am I thinking of? Okay, let me try and bring something up on the screen there for you guys. I'm determined to find it because I need to go ahead and give it another read for you all. So do bear with me. Sit tight. Let me go ahead and bring something up on the screen for you guys. All right. Bear with me, guys. Purpose for this is because I pretty much just don't want to paraphrase. I'd rather just read it to you all. I don't really want to do no paraphrasing for this particular read. All right, so let me go ahead and see if I can bring this one up on the screen in front of me. Let me send this one to my desktop. I'm not sure what happened to it because I did read it out some live streams ago and now it's not here no more. So let's go ahead and bring up that press release there from the Jamaica Football Federation pertaining to what many of you guys there in the comment section are viewing as the elephant in the room in the absence of our gaffer, Hubert Busby. So again, in case you guys missed this one, let me try and see if I can bring you guys up to speed. Again, this is for the purpose of trying to bring us all on the same page. And I'm starting this one off by looking at the positives. Positive in this instance, in this conversation, is probably subjective. I potentially see it as a positive. Some of you might say, no, it's not a positive, right? So the main bit of information there in terms of positive news, and I'm saying positive news because it pretty much unsaid or should have unsaid what many of you were scratching your heads and wondering, where is the head coach Hubert Busby? Now we know that in the run up to the USA friendly that there were some questions pertaining to whether or not he would be on the touchline, you know, speculations flying left, right and center. And I'll reiterate what I said on a few of our live streams that in essence we can really only just go with what's in front of us. So I'll reiterate what the Jamaica Football Federation said on that night's occasion, quite similar to the games, the two friendlies against Mexico. It does say here the Jamaica Football Federation confirms that head coach Hubert Busby will be absent from the bench due to personal matters, but will continue to maintain active communication with both players and technical staff. Now, there's some positives and negatives in that one. It does say, again, answer a couple of your questions there pertaining to where he will be. And I think, in my opinion, fan base, potentially, maybe some of you got the answer that you got a answer, might not be the answer that you were searching for, but you definitely got an answer. And in terms of that particular sentence there in the section there that's highlighted, there's some positives and negatives. Positive because although some of you received an answer, some of you are still of the belief that there is more to what's being said. Now, I can't answer that one for you, unfortunately. I can only go with what's in front of me. And but the one thing that I took a gripe with is what was mentioned there in the press release, where it says here that continues to maintain active communication with both players and technical staff. So my thing is, if he's maintaining communication, active communication with his players and the backroom staff, why could we not have received a a press conference from the man himself. I don't know why that is. That's a little bit of a negative. Only he can answer that one. I can't. So positive from that match against the United States. Again, to reiterate, fan base, you received an answer. Might not be the answer to your desire, but you still received an answer pertaining to where is your head coach, the head coach for the senior Reggae Girls national team, Hubert Busby. Another positive there is the return of the sports psychologist, Mr. Nicholas Powell. Delighted to see his return. Not sure how long he's going to be around for. I'm hoping that will be for a lengthy time, that he can sign a contract. JFF can write up a contract for him that will see him here for the long run, but I'm not really sure if that will materialize. Hopefully it does. I'm assuming that's down to us, the 12th man, to put the pressure on the Jamaica Football Federation to ensure that the Reggae Girls get a complete team. So when I say a complete team, for me, your backroom staff is incomplete if you don't have your sports psychologist, if you don't have an access to a sports psychologist. Your backroom staff, in my opinion, is incomplete. Another positive, great to see the Reggae Girls up against another heavyweight in women's football. I think the heaviest of weights, the most successful women's team on the planet, world #1 ranking team in the world right now, the USA. So that's great for the team. And like I said, this is in terms of women's football, the most successful women's team ever. And as I said on Ryan's show, when I listened to those pre-match comments there from Alison Swaby, the skipper, on the night's occasion, to me, she gets it. I'm going to play that audio there, and then we can kind of discuss what we hear, right? Because that the audio, actually, I went back and listened to the comments from the interim head coach, Dion Burton, and also Alison Swaby, and that's kind of helped me to guide or to create tonight's live stream for you guys. So I've listened to it a number of times, and I think I'm going to pause temporarily and we can listen to that one together. All right, so to reiterate in terms of those positives there, you got your press release from the Jamaica Football Federation. Might not be what you want to hear, but you still got a answer. The return of the sports psychologist, for me, again, playing against another heavyweight, that's great. Again, Alison Swaby gets it. And Brooks, the young Brooks, I think she done well. I don't know what you guys make of that. Let me know what you think of Leah Brooks' performance between the sticks. I think she done well given the occasion, given so much that's going on, or what appears to be going on with the women's national team. And also, not to make excuses for ourselves, I'm definitely not making excuses at all, but in terms of context, in terms of trying to be fair, yes, we did have some key players missing, you know, the likes of Spencer, Spence, of course, the captain, the leader, Bunny Shaw. 3 players who are most certainly regulars in terms of the starting 11 being unavailable. Again, that's not me making excuses. It is what it is. I think it's unfair to potentially assess the negative without touching on the positives and also adding context to potentially why we look the way we look. Though, to back that up, there's been times when we play against the United States with a fully strengthened Reggae Girls team, all our best players available, and we still come off with a beating. And what I don't like is I hate hearing when fans say, but they're the best team on the planet. We're not going to beat them, or we shouldn't expect to beat them. Why not? At what point are we going to be saying to ourselves the expectation is to beat the United States? That's what I want to know from you guys in the comment section, right? One Kaka, big up yourself. He says, hey, I'm a new subscriber to the program. I hope I'll be seeing you in the comment section as a regular. Thank you for subscribing. You've taken me to 5,003 subscribers, so big up yourself, Kaka. I hope you are in good health. Big up yourself, Gord. Is that how you pronounce your name? Big up yourself. Conrad, big up yourself. DC says, welcome, Kaka. Like what Cranky always says, we need a Spanish coach, both men and for the ladies. So I'm going to leave that comment on the screen there in front of you temporarily. And I think I should probably stick a pin in it, pause, and let's go ahead and listen to the pre-match words there from the gaffer and the captain Alison Swaby. I did tell you guys to go ahead and listen to it and let me know your opinions first, because I didn't want to speak before you guys, but I'm not sure if you guys actually did what I asked you to do, so I'm gonna go ahead and play it in a couple seconds. Let me know once you hear me silence. Once I'm silent, it means that the audio is being played. So obviously if you can't hear it, let me know in the comment section and I'll do the tweaks my end, right? There might be some technical issues, so if there is, then let me know in the comment section. All right, I'm about to play in a couple of seconds.
Team's looking well. Obviously, we've done the best that we can to prepare them in the period of time we've had, and I think a lot of information and hard work has gone in. So it's credit to the girls in this short period. So we're looking forward to the game tomorrow.
It's always good whenever the girls are getting good encounters. And not just, playing for playing's sake. The U.S. former World Cup winners, they would have had a mixed tour recently, despite Mexico not getting to 2 World Cups. But those are good matchups, you would say?
Very good. Look, the opposition that we've been playing recently and the caliber of them shows that, one, we're privileged to be able to play them and be asked to play them in certain situations, and also to pit our wits against the top quality opponents, and it can only make us better no matter the result, but the experience and putting ourselves into unknown territory as such with great opponents, and it can only benefit us in the long run.
Yeah. What are some of the things you would have been pleased with from those players, despite them having long season, but coming in and putting in the work ahead of this game?
Yeah, we've got a great balance of youth and experience, like you say, and some new players to add to the group. So it's going to be great to see what they've learned in a short period of time that we've had together, and also putting their best foot forward when given the opportunity, if they're starting or from the bench. But all they can do is do their best, and obviously have the main goal, which is the World Cup qualifiers in October.
For many people, whenever they look at football, as you know, all they focus on sometimes it's that end result in terms of the scoreline. Ahead of tomorrow's game, what are some of the things you are looking at as well with the coaching staff?
Look, we have to remember, from the background, we're all professional. We all want to win. And like you said, no one wants to win more than me, but we have to look at the bigger picture, like we keep coming back to. And as long as we're developing and we're learning and the information is getting into the players and they're understanding their jobs and responsibilities for the end goal, which is the World Cup qualifiers, these friendlies are just a facilitation of that to help us on our journey to get to where we want to get. So, one, it's great that we're having the opportunity to play these high caliber teams. And two, yeah, we want to put our best foot forward, but like you said, the result, of course, we're disappointed if we lose or if something happens like that, but at the end point is we want to make sure we're learning and we're progressing and moving forward for the October window.
The World Cup qualifiers are now very much on the mind of a lot of these ladies. What are some of the things you want to see from the team and just overall everything for women's football going forward?
Well, obviously, it's just learning building blocks, okay? We obviously had a tough time out last time out in the Mexico games, but still there was some positives that we took away in the second game. And we just got to build on that and build again in tomorrow's match. And if we can make sure that we can see development, see learning, and see the players understanding what's expected of them and what we're trying to do within the session, like I said, it's building and we're moving forward. And that's all that we want to do, move forward.
Another big friendly, Jamaica versus US. How important it is for the girls to keep getting these kind of matches?
Yeah, I think ultimately as a high-level player, you always want to have the opportunity to test yourself against the strongest opposition. And I think there's a lot you learn about yourself tactically, but also character-wise, when you know you're facing somebody that on paper is a stronger team. So I think for us, it's just about using this as an opportunity to build and to be prepared for major tournaments when we will face, world class caliber opposition.
The season would have been long for a couple of the players, whether through clubs as well as university colleges. But here you are, you turned out 3 days or 4 days of hard training sessions. What's your assessment of how the team would have done throughout those moments?
Yeah, I think if you ask anyone, it is tough to come and play challenging games on the back of a long season, but it is what we signed up for at the end of the day. So I think as soon as we step foot here, we're reminded of the common goal, and we're excited to get the chance to play with one another. And I think, like I mentioned before, it's a building block. It's something for us to use to be really prepared once we start official qualifiers. And I think that we can just use it as that, something that's preparing us for the bigger picture.
What are you looking, from the team tomorrow? When I spoke to Coach Dion, it's not just about the scoreline at the end of the day. The World Cup qualifiers will come up in October, but what would be some of the things you're looking to as a senior player come tomorrow?
I think that the scoreline is always one thing that you can use to judge your performance, but I think for us, regardless of the scoreline, I think that there's lots of things that we can be proud of no matter what happens. And I think trying to concentrate on those things is what's going to drive our success in the match tomorrow, whether that be working on the things that we've been establishing as things that we want to try to challenge ourselves on throughout the week in training. And yeah, I think that there's lots of room for us to walk away from this match saying like, yeah, we got this down, or no, we still need to improve this for the next time around.
Talk to me about the training sessions you would have had in terms of the preparation, in your opinion, how the team is looking.
Yeah, the team's looking.
So it seems like that one went on a loop. To be honest with you, it's good that it went on a loop because I think it's important to play that one twice. So I'm going to play the pre-match comments there from the gaffer, the interim gaffer, that is the Reggae Boyz legend, former Reggae Boyz legend, Dion Burton, filling in on that camp's occasion, 2 camps occasions now for the absence of head coach Hubert Busby. And also you got to hear from the skipper, Alison Swaby, and we know she's filling in wearing the captain's armband in the absence of Khadija Bunny Shaw. So I'm going to go ahead and play that again and let me know your opinion. You guys are saying a couple of things in the comment section. I'm going to keep my eye on the comment section. And once this one plays for the second time, then I will give you guys my opinion. I'll share my thoughts with you guys, okay?
Well, obviously we've done the best that we can to prepare them in the period of time we've had. And I think a lot of information and hard work has gone in, so it's credit to the girls in this short period. So we're looking forward to the game tomorrow.
It's always good whenever the girls are getting good encounters, and not just playing for playing's sake. The U.S. former World Cup winners, they would have had a mixed tour recently, despite Mexico not getting to 2 World Cups. But those are good matchups, you would say?
Very good. Look, the opposition that we've been playing recently and the caliber of them shows that, one, we're privileged to be able to play them and be asked to play them in certain situations, and also to pit our wits against the top quality opponents. And it can only make us better, no matter the result, but the experience and putting ourselves into unknown territory as such with great opponents, and it can only benefit us in the long run.
Yeah. What are some of the things you would have been pleased with from those players, despite them having long season, but coming in and putting in the work ahead of this game?
Yeah, we've got a great balance of youth and experience, like you say, and some new players to add to the group. So it's going to be great to see what they've learned in a short period of time that we've had together, and also putting their best foot forward when given the opportunity, if they're starting or from the bench. But all they can do is do their best, and obviously have the main goal, which is the World Cup qualifiers in October.
For many people, whenever they look at football, as you know, all they focus on sometimes it's that end result in terms of the scoreline. Ahead of tomorrow's game, what are some of the things you are looking at as well with the coaching staff?
Look, we have to remember, from the background, we're all professional. We all want to win. And like you said, no one wants to win more than me, but we have to look at the bigger picture, like we keep coming back to. And as long as we're developing and we're learning and the information is getting into the players and they're understanding their jobs and responsibilities for the end goal, which is the World Cup qualifiers, these friendlies are just a facilitation of that, to help us on our journey to get to where we want to get. So one, it's great that we're having the opportunity to play these high caliber teams, and two, yeah, we want to put our best foot forward, but like you said, the result, of course, we're disappointed if we lose or if something happens like that, but at the end point is we want to make sure we're learning and we're progressing and moving forward for the October window.
The World Cup qualifiers, I know, very much on the mind of a lot of these ladies. What are some of the things you want to see from the team and just overall everything for women's football going forward?
Well, obviously, it's just learning building blocks, okay? We obviously had a tough time out last time out in the Mexico games, but still there was some positives that we took away in the second game. And we just got to build on that and build again in tomorrow's match. And if we can make sure that we can see development, see learning, and see the players understanding what's expected of them and what we're trying to do within the session, like I said, it's building and we're moving forward. And that's all that we want to do, move forward.
Another big friendly, Jamaica versus US. How important it is for the girls to keep getting these kind of matches?
Yeah, I think ultimately as a high-level player, you always want to have the opportunity to test yourself against the strongest opposition. And I think there's a lot you learn about yourself tactically, but also character-wise, when you know you're facing somebody that on paper is a stronger team. So I think for us, it's just about using this as an opportunity to build and to be prepared for major tournaments when we will face, world-class caliber opposition.
The season would have been long for a couple of the players, whether through clubs as well as university colleges. Or here you are, you turned out 3 days or 4 days of hard training sessions. What's your assessment of how the team would have done throughout those moments?
Yeah, I think if you ask anyone, it is tough to come and play challenging games on the back of a long season, but it is what we signed up for at the end of the day. So I think as soon as we step foot here, we're reminded of the common goal, and we're excited to get the chance to play with one another. And I think, like I mentioned before, it's a building block. It's something for us to use to be really prepared once we start official qualifiers. And I think that we can just use it as that, something that's preparing us for the bigger picture.
What are you looking, from the team tomorrow? When I spoke to Coach Dion, it's not just about the scoreline at the end of the day. The World Cup qualifiers will come up in October, but what would be some of the things you're looking to as a senior player come tomorrow?
I think that the scoreline is always one thing that you can use to judge your performance, but I think for us, regardless of the scoreline, I think that there's lots of things that we can be proud of no matter what happens. And I think trying to concentrate on those things is what's going to drive our success in the match tomorrow, whether that be working on the things that we've been establishing as things that we want to try to challenge ourselves on throughout the week in training. And yeah, I think that there's lots of room for us to walk away from this match saying like, yeah, we got this down, or no, we still need to improve this for the next time around.
Talk to me about the training sessions you would have had in terms of the preparation, in your opinion, how the team is looking.
Yeah, the team's...
Right, so that's back on another loop. I think I've been fair with you guys. I've given you the opportunity to listen to it twice. I can't remember how many times I've listened to it. So I'm going to go ahead and share my thoughts having listened to that pre-match comments there from Dion and also Alison. See what you're saying. They have to play better, stop playing scared, move quicker, pass the ball. So trying to think of how best to start this. Probably start again with the positives. Just I'm trying to be as fair as possible. So it's probably better to start off with the positives. And I think I have to focus on the captain. And I'm sounding like a little bit of a broken record. But as it relates to the captain, again, in the absence of Khadija Bunishaw, she dubs the captain's armband. And when politics isn't interfering, when politics isn't interfering, in the absence of Khadija Bunishaw, she does wear the captain's armband. When Bunny's there, she's the vice captain. And what I liked in terms of the positives there, what I liked about Alison, I can't remember exactly what she said, but what I took from that is that she's not here to make excuses. She spoke like a leader. She spoke like a captain. You can definitely see why she's wearing the captain's armband, and she's one of the leaders in the team. Seems like it's a natural fit. What I liked about Alison's words there was a particular question that was asked her, and I think it was around the heavy and demanding fixture calendar, which is a fair question to ask, to be honest with you. But what I liked was Alison's response in the sense of her not making excuses. If anyone is to make an excuse about having a demanding and uphill season, a yo-yo season, Alison is definitely one of those players, and you can't argue with it. When you look at her transfer to Crystal Palace, when you look at those fixtures there that she would have played with Palace towards the latter stages of this closing campaign, subsequently with her team unfortunately facing the drop from the top tier of women's football in England, the WSL, she definitely could be in that position where we could sit here and make excuses for her and say, but she's at a tiring season, but this, but that. But I do like the fact that she pretty much answered the question the way that she perhaps should. It's definitely a pleasing response. Yes, it's true. They did have a demanding season. They did, some of those players, as I said, over on Ryan's channel, they did have a bit of a yo-yo season, but irrespective of, I love the fact that she said that, look, at the end of the day, paraphrasing, of course, that this is what we signed up to. This is the nature of the job. We know about the football calendar. We know how brutal it is. We know how demanding it is. We know those fixtures come thick and fast, and it's the nature of the game. So I do like that response there from Alison. Matter of fact, I love the response. Massive thumbs up. Is there any other positives from that one, from the comments there from the gaffer and also from Alison? I think that was my positives. It'd be interesting to hear what you guys think. Let me know what was your positive take from the press. Can't even call it a press conference. The sit down there with the gaffer and also Alison. Again, he is the acting interim head coach. Unless there's something going on behind the scenes that we're not privy to. But as far as we know, he is the acting interim head coach, Dion Burton there, standing in office, standing on the sideline in the absence of our head coach, Hubert Busby. So let me know what your positives are. If you can identify the negatives, surely you can also identify some positives as well, right? So moving along, I'm going to try and see if I can remember some of the stuff there that Dion touched on. I don't know about you guys, but and this is why when I listen back to the words there from in particularly Dion, if I'm being completely honest with you, I kind of listened to it a number of times, and each time I'm still feeling the same way. And this is why I'm asking you guys that question there right in front of you. 4-0 to the USA. Did we accept defeat before kickoff? I don't know about you guys, but having listened back to the words there from Dion, it just kind of seemed as if we did accept defeat before kickoff. We can observe things differently. We can interpret things differently. I don't think there is, potentially you could argue and say that I am wrong. I'm more than happy for you to say that I am wrong. But as I said, I can look at a painting and I can see a particular beauty. Someone else in the comment section can look at the same painting and see something that I'm not seeing. So just because I am saying it doesn't mean that it is factual, doesn't mean that that is whatever I'm saying holds water. But some of the things that he said there, I felt that there was a stress and emphasis on the result and the importance of the result, or the lack of importance pertaining to the results itself. And also, he touched on the facts, which is, a short period of time, good encounters, building block. There was, I think, a repetition of these games, this match, like the Mexico match, paraphrasing, these are used as building blocks towards the World Cup, which is the World Cup qualifiers, which are taking place at the ending of the year, the latter stage of the year. Of course, that's all factual with the the president, Mr. Michael Ricketts, actually said that towards the latter stages of last year. I think it was in the announcement of the France game where he said, you know, these games are used as preparation for the World Cup qualifiers. And I'm pleased to see these fixtures because myself and you guys there in the comment section and others within the YouTube community have advocated for the Reggae Girlz to have friendlies in the run-up to the World Cup qualifiers and even post-World Cup qualifiers, fingers crossed. So we're definitely not taking what we've got for granted. So I understand when Dion is talking about, you know, we're using these games as building blocks and good encounters, etc., etc. Yes, completely understandable. But for me, I'm not really a massive fan of hearing those stresses there on the end result. It seemed to me as if we're going into this game and there was no desire, no sincere desire to want to beat the USA. The message wasn't to go out there and beat the USA, because what I'm hearing from my gaffer is quite the opposite. Again, there was stresses there on the end result, and you know, football is more than the result. Yes, we know that, absolutely, football is more than results. And like I said, the expectation there when I listened to that was that, okay, it's just another match, it's just a friendly. I wouldn't frame this as just a friendly. I believe Dion also said, if my ears aren't fooling me, I believe he also said that it's unknown territory. I'm not sure what he means by that. I'm not really sure. Only Dion can clarify what he means by that. But when I'm hearing stuff like unknown territory, I'm kind of wondering for who? Because it's not unknown territory if you're a Reggae Girl, you know, leading up to that game that would have been the match that's just gone, makes it 5 encounters, 5 clashes between us and the United States. 5 clashes between us and the United States, and they have a winning streak over us. And irrespective of the fact that they are the #1 ranked team in the world, they are a powerhouse when it comes to women's football. No other nation is more successful than them. Irrespective of that, that is a fact. It is now 6 times that we've played against the United States, and we've not managed to find the back of the net, not once. So something's kind of got to give. That's what I'm thinking. I'm listening to that and I'm like, did he say unknown territory? Maybe my ears are fooling me. Maybe I'm not hearing correctly. But if he did, then I would disagree, because it's not unknown territory. We've played against them now. We're bound to play against the United States. If we're serious about our business, considering that we belong to CONCACAF and we're playing CONCACAF competitions, we are bound to play against the United States. So 6 straight wins there for the United States. Not managed to put our names on the score sheet, not once. And in the process of those 6 matches, can you guys in the comment section guess how many goals the United States have put across us? Do you guys know how many goals the United States have put in the back of our nets? I'll leave you guys to try and give me an answer to that one. I'll keep my eyes on the comment section, and before I close off, I'll let you know how many goals they've played scored against us. So like I said, 6 times we've played against them, and we've not won not one single match. We've not scored against them. And for me, again, the expectation, what I gather from those pre-match talk there from Dion, was that there was no expectation to beat the United States. I'm not really sure why that is. I'm not really sure what's this. I can't even say, I don't even think that we are obsessed with the United States. I don't think the players are. Maybe certain people who have been around the team have shown some sort of admiration, overly admiring the United States. Most certainly there's some arguments there, but I'm just wondering, like, what are we learning when we play against the United States? What? Because there, for me, doesn't seem to be a desire to want to beat the biggest nation in CONCACAF. And if we don't have that desire now, when are we going to have that desire? When are we actually going to take ourselves serious and want to beat the United States? Because currently we're not showing no desire at all. And it's quite confusing, because again, like when Vin Blaine was the head coach, he said it out of his own mouth that we can beat the United States. It's just that at that time he felt that we needed to work on our defense, and if we worked on our defense, we could beat the United States. I'm not really sure that we can say that right now. Like right now, you know, and we definitely can't say that because we saw what happened some days ago. Yet again, they've managed to defeat us. I'm not sure if you guys have answered the question yet, but before I forget, I did ask you guys how many goals have they put past us in 6 games. They've put 35 goals past us. And yes, people can say they are a powerhouse, but at what point do we stop saying that? At what point do we say, oh, you know, let them have their way with us? Because that's how it looks when we play against the United States. Whenever we play against them, we are always a shadow of ourselves. We always look subpar, and that's putting it politely. We're never looking ambitious. We're not looking like we're going out there to win. We don't look like we're up for it. And that can only start with the coach and the backroom staff. The motivation and the expectation and the willingness and the desire to want to beat the United States starts from the coach and his coaching staff. If I was a fan, I am a fan. If I was listening to that as a new fan, I wouldn't even be bothered to want to either go to the game or watch the game. However, if I was listening to maybe Alison Swaby and Alison is not making excuses for herself, I might say, okay, well, fair play. I might tune into this. But it just seemed that there was too many emphasis on the importance of the result or lack thereof. Like, yes, we know that it's a friendly, and yes, of course, we know football isn't all about results, but who the hell wants to keep being battered by the United States? Who wants to keep on being battered by them? I don't. I'm not a reggae girl, but I'm sure those players are sick to death of being battered by them. They're beating you up. Every single time we get in the ring of the United States, they're beating us up. They're beating us up. So clearly there's a coaching issue there. And I'm not saying Dion is the issue, because we had this issue long before Dion came along. Like, he has temporarily or maybe permanently inherited a mess. Like, there is some coaching issues there. Perhaps it's a case where we might need to look at the team and say, you know, going forward, and I'm not saying sack this person, sack that person. Going forward, we might have to look and say, do we perform at our ultimate best when we have a head coach and a manager? So should we look to say, let's bring in a head coach and a manager, right? Because yes, one person can do the two job, but maybe we perform better, or we would perform better if we have a head coach and a manager working at the same time. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm sick to death of being beaten up by the USA. It's like we're little sis and they're big sis, and they just beat us up and pat us on our back, and we just say, well, thanks for that. At least we got to play against our big sisters. I don't really care for that. I don't care if they're the #1 ranked nation in the world. I don't care about how many World Cups they have in their cabinet. We should have some desire to want to beat them. And this is why I'm saying the expectation has been risen. We are no longer happy as a fan base to say that we have qualified for the World Cup. Been there, done that. The goalpost has been moved. We should be looking at saying that we want to beat the United States. Come talk about it's a privilege. It is a bloody privilege to be there. It's a privilege for the United States to play against us as well, because we're not walking the park. Irrespective of the last couple of results where we're looking like a shadow of ourselves, it's a privilege for the United States to play against Jamaica as well. It's a bloody privilege. We went to the round of 16 and we were so close to going to the semis, and Lord knows when you're in the final, anything goes. So it's a privilege for them to want to play against us as well, not just us looking at them and being mesmerized. Stop being so bloody starstruck. Stop being like so like amazed at the time. Every single time we play against the United States, and it's always a coaching issue. It's always a coaching issue. I'm hearing about you coach this girl from the United States, you coach that. We don't really care about that, if I'm being completely honest with you. We don't care. We do not care. We don't care about personal relationships. When we're going out there, I want Jamaica football to treat the United States like how we treat them in track and field. That is what we need to be doing. Stop pondering to them. Stop allowing them to have their way with us. It's sickening. It's sickening. And it's not unfamiliar territory. We're very familiar with being up against the United States. It's 6 times. 35 goals they've put past us, and we've put none past them. We're sick and tired of the excuses. I'm tired of being made to be this little sis. Like, we're not little girls. Like, these are grown women. These are women who are used to winning things at club level. We need to be winning things at the national level as well. This is our golden generation, and we're talking about privilege of playing against the United States. Yeah, it is, but let's not treat them like they're superstars. Let's not treat them like they're the celebrities in the room and we're going to a concert to watch them perform, and they've given us tickets to sit in the VIP section. Keep your ticket. I don't want your ticket. I do not want it. I am sick to death of being beaten by the United. At what point are you going to be ambitious? And I'm talking about the coaching staff. At what point are you going to show some bloody ambition and say that we want to beat the United States? At what point are you going to show that desire to say that you actually want to beat them rather than talking about it's a friendly, it's this, it's that? Enough of the excuses. It's enough of the excuses. We're in a position where we can kind of say we're in similar positions, right, in terms of transition. So Emma Hayes has come in, and Emma Hayes, we don't need an introduction about Emma Hayes. We know about the pit bull that is Emma Hayes. And we've got back Hubert Busby. And so you can argue and say we're both in a transition where we have a combination of youth and experience. But I can counter argument that and say, yeah, we're in similar position and they're still beating us. So even when we're kind of somewhat neck and neck in terms of youth and experience, they're still beating us up. So when are we going to actually look at ourselves and say, look, enough is enough? When are you actually, because I'm telling you right now, based on what we saw against USA, guys, and based on those words leading up to the game, we are not looking to win nothing in CONCACAF. We're not looking to win that CONCACAF championship. We're looking to let the likes of the USA have it. We're going to be happy with runner-up or a cute little third-place medal being placed around our necks because there's no ambition to dethrone the United States because we're afraid of them. We're afraid of them. Like, they're the best team in the world, so we should not have no desire to want to beat them. That's the message that I am getting. I don't know about what you guys are saying. I'm going to pause. I'm going to send a link to the live stream again. And if you want to jump on, you are more than welcome to do so. Okay, let me see what you guys are saying there in the comment section. Nella, good day to yourself. Big up. I hope you're in good health. I didn't see Dion's interview. Where can I find it? It is over on the Jamaica Football Federation's YouTube channel. They've got it down as a pre-match press conference, I believe. RR says, see why I say the body language was dim. Yeah, because if Dion is talking like that to the players, like how he spoke to us, the camera, you're not motivating me. You're telling me that it's not all about the results and it's building block. I'm not going to have no desire to want to go and beat them. I'm not going to. It all starts with the gaffer. It all starts, and mind you, yes, you can argue and say Dion is taking directions from Busby. Busby's probably working remotely. I don't care. I really don't care, because with or without Busby, with or without Dion, we have been slapped a number of times by the United States. 6 times in a row, 35 goals fly past us. 0 reach the back of their net. Okay? So it's like we're not really getting what we should be getting. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think on the Boone Blaine, attacking wise, we looked better. I think on the Donaldson defensive wise, we look better. So it seems like we can't seem to get the combination of the two correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong, because that's just my opinion. My opinion is in fact. BC says a positive aspect of the Reggae Girlz is that they have another player besides Shaw and Spencer who speaks like someone who's willing to step up in leadership. Yeah, I mean, you can see why Alison is the captain. The way that lady spoke, I was just like, yeah, that's my captain. That is my captain. She gets it. She's not here for no excuses. And I was just like, wow. Big up yourself, Eddie Guna. And Eddie says, love was on the thumbnail. Eddie's actually in the studio, so let me bring him on very quickly. Mr. Eddie Guna, good day to yourself, sir. How are you?
Hello, Crystal, and hello to your viewers. How are you doing, Crystal?
I'm stressed out, Eddie. The team's stressing me. It's a Friday and I'm stressed.
Yes, I can see that. And I must say, I really appreciate you doing a video like this.
Thank you.
I've been sharing a lot of these sentiments and didn't get a time really to put out a video. So I'm happy that you're doing something like this, because I was very upset. And I did not like the approach taken by the coaching staff, and that trickled down to the players. So it was just totally unacceptable.
It's crazy because I listened to it, Eddie, because like I said, I was going to do a show yesterday and I was even going to talk about it when I was doing the live watch around, and I was like, maybe I'm reading into things too much. I'm like, maybe I'm being harsh, but I went back a number of times, Eddie, and I'm like, there just seems to be an emphasis on the result not being important. What message are you sending? If you're saying that to the fans, what the hell are you saying to the players?
Exactly. And you're dealing with young players.
Exactly.
Basically, you're saying go out there and do whatever. It doesn't matter if you lose, come on. At the end of the day, we play for Jamaica. We're playing for pride. So, the message was just totally wrong. And I don't know where it's coming from. All of a sudden, because we've played big teams before, and this was never the message.
Yeah, I think you're right. And
You hear me, Crystal?
yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. You dropped out a little bit, but I think I got the gist of what you were saying. DC says Burton
Okay,
uses the
because
word.
I'm driving.
Hmm?
I'm on the toll, so
Oh, okay.
I'm driving.
Keep both hands on the wheels, sir. Keep both hands on the wheels. So DC says Burton uses the word privilege as if the team has not earned the right to play against these teams. It disregards the fact that the Reggae Girlz earned back-to-back World Cup qualification. And yeah, I can understand why you would say such a comment, because that is how it comes across. That's how it comes across. I don't know about you, Eddie, but
Exactly.
coaching wise, how do we get better? What do you think, coaching wise, how are we going to get better? I think Eddie's on the toll there, guys. So just bear with him. Mr. Beckford, pick up yourself. I
You
hope you're
dropped
in.
out. Could you repeat? I'm not hearing you.
I was saying, coaching wise, how do you think? What should we do to get better coaching wise? Because clearly, there's a coaching issue there. As someone is looking on, we're not flies on the wall or anything. Think we might just have to bear with Eddie, guys. Remember, he's on the call, so signal is dropping in and out. So I keep speaking of you guys. DC says, I understand that the girls are not exactly the same team that went to the recent World Cup, and that's the Women's World Cup. But what's wrong with using the most recent example of success as a rallying point? I'm not really sure, to be honest with you, DC. JFF thought they could have done it without Coach Lauren Donaldson and the Reggae Girlz. There's just so much going on there, isn't it? So much going on. It's like we're taking several steps back when we should be going forward. Nella says we just need to play proper football, tactical and logical football, and defend properly. And I don't think we're at that point. I know obviously Dion was brought in to help us get better in terms of our attack and our ability to score goals. So that was literally his job to come in. I don't think he imagined putting himself as in the interim position, but that's 2 games back to back away from home in America, where he's had to sit in the driving seat. So Eddie's just Eddie, I think you're on mute, if in case you're speaking and you're wondering why I'm not hearing you. But I think he's driving there, guys, so just bear with him, okay? The USA didn't exactly give the best performance at the recent. Exactly, and they are not the invincible team they once were, as illustrated in the most recent Women's World Cup. And that's what I'm saying. If you're not taking your chances now, when are you going to take it? When are you going to take it? Like, they have a lot of youth in their team. They have a young squad. So people are making excuses for our team and saying we have a young squad. USA have a young squad as like just like us. It's neck and neck, except they slightly adjust. They might have, let's say if Jamaica have like on average 6 young players, USA would have had on average approximately 8 young players, right? And when I say young, when I looked at the squad, I didn't go above 24. So I capped it off at 24, right? So this whole emphasis and heavy excuse of, oh, they have a young squad, and no, sorry, we have a young squad. That's not an excuse. So does the USA. I am well. I think the players have ambition. I'm just wondering what message is being said to them. Conroy says, I'm sick and tired of excuses. Same. Thanks for the information. I only saw the post game. Big up yourself. It says, big up Eddie. Yes, it is better. We had lost with a better performance. than better performance than what was played this week. We are not getting the ball. We can't score. Eddie says bad connection. We'll try and get some Wi-Fi. That's okay, Eddie. No problem. If you're able to come back on, that would be great. If not, thank you so much for stopping by the channel. And guys, please do look out for Eddie Vision and jump over on his channel whenever you can, whenever he's live, and show some love. And most importantly, like I said, both hands on the wheel. Do drive yourself safely to your destination, to and from. So that is my thing with this team, guys. I listened to that and I want it to be so fair. So I'm like, oh, you know what? Let me listen to this again, which is why I didn't mention it in the build up to the game. I was like, all right, let me listen to this again, because maybe I'm looking at it from the wrong perspective. It's like, nah, let me listen to this. And I'm listening to it a number of times. I'm like, no, I'm still getting the same feeling. So Nella says I'm referring to the message. Okay, my apologies. Jimma the Wise. The main issue is that, good evening to yourself, Jimma. The main issue is that other countries in the Caribbean are improving, fact, and we are not only stagnant, but we're also going backwards. Another fact. RR says the US team is a rebuild team. They are also building. Like this whole emphasis on we are new, we have new players, we have young players. That's just an excuse. That's just an excuse. I'm sorry, but my captain on the nice occasion, Alison Swaby, wasn't making excuses, so no one else should be making excuses. Don't make excuses. Like the captain wasn't making excuses. Captain leads from the front. Can't be making those type of excuses. Okay, so Nella is saying that the message lack ambition. Again, it's nothing personal. It's nothing personal. It's nothing personal, because sometimes you say these things and people see it as a personal attack. It's not personal. And again, I don't agree that it's unfamiliar territory. It's not unfamiliar territory. Couple of things I don't agree with. I don't agree with the emphasis on the results. I don't agree on the unknown territory. And I don't agree on this being framed as it's just a friendly. It's not just a bloody friendly. Whenever we line up against the USA, it is never just a friendly. There's nothing friendly about that. No one is smiling and smirking. USA are not looking at it as it's just a friendly. It's just a kickabout against the Reggae Girlz. No, USA don't want to break that unbeaten streak. They're looking for double figures. They're at 6. They need 4 more to make it 10. So at what point are we going to have some desire about us to say, all right, enough is enough. We need to beat them now. Crystal, you're beat hard. I'm just a fan. I'm just a fan. It's nothing personal. I don't want no one to take it personal. I don't want it to be seen as a personal attack. I am just a fan at the end of the day. I'm a fan. I love my country just like anybody else. I love the team just like anybody else. I'm just a fan. It's never nothing personal. So that is the way I'm looking. I'm going to take a little look. And again, before I forget, getting beat by Mexico as well, when we've already beaten Mexico. So there is some solid evidence there to say that we're going back on ourselves, because we have gone from beating Mexico to being beaten by Mexico. So we cannot just be looking at these games as building blocks, friendlies. No, we can't. And I didn't see any fan in the stand. Interesting observation. That's like, what are they saying? No transparency, no penny? That's probably the message that the fans are working with. I don't know. But that's just how I'm feeling there, guys. And that's a shocking comment. If true, I'm sure there must have been. Maybe the camera just didn't capture anyone. But anyway, we're playing the United States, I'm expecting to see Reggae Girlz fans or Reggae Boyz fans, depending on who is playing. Right, Jamaica football fans, basically. So let me go and look and see who is live, or if anyone is going live, and I could basically give you guys a heads up. Who's live? No one is live. I believe Ryan's going live in less than an hour, guys. So keep your eyes on his channel. If I go through my subscribers, no one else is live. I'm not sure who else is going live. Let's see. No one is live at the moment. No one is live at the moment. Yes, I've gone through my subscribers. There's no one live at the moment, guys. But I'm fairly confident that in the next 1 hour, Ryan should be going live. And I'm assuming he's going to be talking about potentially a preview to tomorrow's game, right? So Crystal, you sound like Henry versus Arteta. No. Why Arsenal keep building while Man U in 5 finals in 6 years? Oh my God, is that how I sound? Oh gosh, I can't tell if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Jesus. Again, you know what? It's nothing personal. It's just my observation. And of course, my observation is in fact. So defeated before kickoff, I'm going to say yes. I don't know what you guys make of that. But that is all I pretty much have time to say. I've wrapped this one up in about 1 hour and 45 minutes. Let me see what you guys are saying in the comment section. I saw a few fans, but they were vastly outnumbered. I also wonder if they left before the game concluded. Probably. LOL, you're a real gunners. I mean, look at it. Look, best of both worlds, really. Although they're a pain in the ass, best of both worlds, best of both worlds. But they're killing me. They're really killing me. So if you guys haven't hit the like button, I'm not sure what you're waiting on. It doesn't cost you a penny. I work hard to put these live streams together, so please show me some respect. Hit the like button. To be fair, 65 of you have hit the like button, so I can't. 69 of you have hit the like button, so I can't be mad. I can't be mad. Thank you. So there's so much to discuss with this Reggae Girlz team, guys. I don't know about you, but I'm raising that expectation, and I think as fan base, because we are so invested in our team, emotionally invested, financially invested, then we are well within our rights to raise those expectations. So I'm saying, I don't know what you guys are saying. I am no longer satisfied with only qualifying for the World Cup. We need to be challenging the likes of the USA and Canada and whoever else, whichever nation is going for that CONCACAF women's trophy. We need to be throwing our names into those hats or into that hat and say, yeah, I want some of that. I don't care who you are. I want that CONCACAF women's trophy, and the Reggae Girlz should be feeling that they're well within a chance of beating any nation in any semis, any quarterfinals, subsequently any finals to that trophy. Those are the expectations that we should be having, because mind you guys, we are now closing off on our golden generation. We're closing off on our golden. Some of those girls are no longer spring chickens. Those girls that started off the successful 2019 cycle, they're no longer spring chickens. They're getting up in age. So to be fair, they probably only have one more World Cup in cycle in them. This is it. This is it for the golden generation. If you're comfortable to not have a trophy as a golden generational player, I don't know what to say to you. You're not serious at all. You can forget about any Ballon d'Or. You're not winning the Ballon d'Or. For Bunny Shaw to be winning the Ballon d'Or, she needs to win something of her country. She needs to not only be winning trophies, be it with Manchester City or someone else, but she needs to be doing it with our country, because we all know how it goes when it comes to us and our demographics. We have to work twice as hard, sometimes 3 times as hard, sometimes 4 times as hard. And it's not just about Bunny Shaw. It's not the Bunny Shaw show. Every one of those Reggae Girlz deserve a trophy. They deserve to lift a trophy with their nation. It's not just about 3rd place, 2nd place. You need to be lifting a trophy. You know, we need to be looking at other competition and saying, okay, you know, can we win this? Can we win that? We can't just keep pondering to the United States. Every tournament that we compete in, the USA is going to be there. So if that's the case, don't bother competing then. Don't bother competing. Be comfortable with your 3rd place or be comfortable with a runners-up. Don't bother competing. And as things stand, we might not make it that far, because we all know other countries in our neck of the woods are all improving, and they're going to want to dethrone us. Countries in the Caribbean are looking at us and they want to take that crown from us, and we're giving them every reason to believe that they can. We are giving them every reason to believe that they can snatch that crown from us. Every reason. So there's so much to be worked on. I'm not taking my foot off no one's neck. It's nothing personal, but I'm demanding more from my team. I'm demanding more from my nation. We should be doing more. We have to be doing more. And that's going to be my demands. I've got let's make it 2 hours. So let me stay with you guys for nine more minutes, and then I close out. Did the JFF marketing team sell the Reggae Girlz game? As in what, the USA match? I think they can most certainly do better at promoting the women's team. You know, they can most certainly do better at promote. They've always got this obsession of cutting off their noses to spite their faces, isn't it? Always want to cut off their noses to spite their faces. I don't know. So we discussed a lot on tonight's show, to be honest with you. In the space of 2 hours, we spoke about Leon Bailey to Saudi, also spoke about the possibility of Damari Gray being set for a potential Premier League return. We spoke about whether McLaren, the head coach of the Reggae Boyz, whether he is a contradictor, and that is a question, not a fact. Not my statement, that is the question. World Cup 2026 is a must for me, for the Reggae Boyz. And of course, we looked at that 4-0 there, the defeat at the hands of the United States, putting 4 goals past the Reggae Girlz. That's 6 straight victories on the cards for the United States. 35 goals they've managed to put past our net in those 6 matches, whereas we have managed to put 0 in the back of their net. Lucky for some, isn't it? I've got 8 more minutes with you guys, and then by then you should have just over half an hour to go, I think, until Ryan goes live. I can't see if no one else is live. I'm gonna go ahead and check again for you guys. Send me some questions before I close up. No one has anything set. But I'm sure Ryan said last night that he's coming back to do a live stream. None of the other guys on YouTube have any live streams set to go live. So I can't even send you to someone else's channel. Unless you fancy watching Suriname versus Puerto Rico, CONCACAF qualifiers, Road to 2026. That one is currently on. Let me see, CONCACAF. Can we look at that quickly, guys? Should we look at CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers? Maybe guys want to dive into this for the rest of the night. So you can see that on the screen in front of you, right? So you're going to close off by looking at this briefly. Picture there that I just spoke about. Suriname 0, Puerto Rico 0, 48 minutes on the clock. And later on, we have Trinidad and Tobago, Caribbean affair against St. Kitts and Nevis. And later on as well, kicking off at the same time, we've got a couple more matches. Oh, wow. How many matches is there today? So you guys, tonight you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Am I reading that correctly? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 5 matches. The reason, silly me, is because it's gone past 12 o'clock. So it's now saying Saturday. I'm wondering, why is there so many games? Okay, so tonight you guys have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches to choose from, and then tomorrow, which would be Saturday, we have the British Virgin Islands. Have some business to take care of against British Virgin Islands. I think you guys voted that you want me to do 91% of you said yes to a live watch along tomorrow. So I'm guessing you guys want me to do that for you, right? 71 of you have hit the like button. God bless you all. So since there is no more questions in the comment section, I think I'm gonna have to love you and leave you. Let me see if there's anything else that I need to touch on. These comments, these live streams, they're so difficult to have because people take things very personal, guys. You'll be surprised, like people take things so personal, and then they do little clips and they send it to this person, send it to that person. Before you know it, you've got another person that dislikes you for no reason, or not even a good enough reason. So these live streams are always a little bit risky when you're being critical and asking those tough questions, challenging the elephant in the room. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So I'm going to have to love you and leave you because you guys are extremely quiet. So if you are out and about, I hope that you make it home safe and unharmed. Bala Kick, what's up with you? I am good. I hope you're in good health. You're coming in right as I'm about to close off. Yes, guys, I hope that you make it home safe and unharmed. Dem Oat says quality stream. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, guys, I hope to see you tomorrow for my live watch along with Reggae Boyz are taking on the British Virgin Islands on the team right in front of you. Barnakick says, I was listening though. Thank you, sir. I hope you've hit the like button. If you have hit the like button, thank you 1,000 times. Thank you to those of you who hit the subscribe button. We're officially in the 5K club. So that is 5,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. You know how much I've been working my ass off to going to hit 5K. Right now, we've actually surpassed 5K subscribers. So thank you so much for that. It means the world to me. I'm going to go and sip on something nice because I think I deserve it. Show a Kurt the boss. I haven't seen you in ages. Where have you been? I hope you're in good health. Big up yourself. He says, like up the stream, people. Please do like up the stream. Big up the lone female. He says, it's so hard to say goodbye to you guys. You know, it's not goodbye. It's see you later. It's a see you later. I will be back. Yay, says DC. I am so happy. 5K in the bag. I'm so happy. I've dreamt of moments like these. You have no idea. I'm so happy. Next, we're going to push for the 6K, the 7K, the 8K, the 9K, and the big bad boy, the 10K. Only Lord knows how long it's going to take me to reach that destination. But slow and steady. The next goal that I'm trying to achieve is obviously 6K. Hopefully you guys will rock with me, right? And help me to get there. I'm actually going to take this one to 2 hours. So it's about 1 hour and 58 minutes on the clock. I'm going to take this one down to 2 hours. What time is kickoff tomorrow for me? Let me go and look. What time is kickoff? Oh, it's a nice time of 8 p.m. kickoff for me. I am about 6 hours ahead of Jamaica. So that's a decent time to do a live stream, not too late. So that's perfect, a matter of fact. So if you guys want to go back and watch this one on replay, you're more than welcome to before the rest of the guys kick off their respective live streams, right? Covered more than enough. Thank you to those of you guys who voted. Let me know on tomorrow's live stream, or let me know now. Quick yes or no. Should I continue to give you guys the Reggae Boyz and Reggae Girlz content together? Let me know in the comment section before I close off, right? I got 1 minute left with you guys, and then I'm closing off. Again, if you're out and about, I do hope that you make it home safe and unharmed. If you're making your way home from work, whatever personal activities, the message is quite clear. Walking through your door is a underrated blessing. If I don't see you for the rest of the weekend, as it is Friday, I do hope that you have a smashing weekend. And I hope you have a great week when it comes. The weekend is relatively short. It's just 2 days. I can't even call it 2 days. It's more like 1 day, a day and a half. Enjoy your weekend. Put your feet up. You deserve it. Thank you so much for your continuous support. And you know how it goes. Until next time, take care.
I'm John Barnes, and you're watching Talawa TV with Crystal Davis.